I'm supposed to be the franchise player, and we're in here talking about practice. I mean, listen, we talking about practice.
Yes, we're talking about practice. I know this series is mainly geared towards game sense and positioning, but this topic was too big to ignore. The thing is, not a lot of videos focus on practicing in Rocket League. And a lot of videos that do talk about it just tell you to drive as fast as you can and hit the ball around. In fact, that's exactly how I started practicing. The problem with that is, well, that's not how you play Rocket League. So if you're ready to rank up and get the most out of your free play experience, then grab your notepad, because we're learning from a grand champ today.
Even as simple as picking up this boost, right? First thing, yeah, just boost to it. Nice, well done. But what about if the opponent also trying to get to a boost? Well, you might speed flip into the boost. Well, now look where your car's facing. Well, how about we speed flip into the ball, but we delay the jump, then speed flip into it, and land directly with a half flip. I can't do it. I'm learning this from like 2 days. But it should look something like this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But that's where you see pro players do this every time. Every
Right.
single time. They don't mess this up. And that's why pro players can get this corner boost and then be on their way back to saving the net without having the issue of being stuck on the backboard.
Right. Before we get deeper into this topic, I'd like to say thank you to everyone who has contributed to this journey so far. From pros to grand champs to players in gold who are just starting the game, all of your footage and input is really what it's going to take to make this series a huge success. I'd also ask you to consider subscribing, liking the video, and leaving a comment. I really love making this kind of content, but it takes a lot of effort. The YouTube algorithm really likes when people interact with the videos, so if you like this kind of stuff and you want more people to see it, please share the love on the video. Leave a comment on what mechanic you're working on right now, and maybe tell us what rank you're at. Anyway, let's talk about car control. Mostly every video you'll see on car control starts with flying from your own goal, spin around across the field, and try to hit the goalpost. Again, none of this is really benefiting you, especially as a newer player, and frankly, it just leads to situations like this. What you need is fundamental car control. Rocket League is a dynamic game, and you need to be able to trust all of your mechanics from different positions. You do that by building your muscle memory in practice. Let's say you want to learn a fast aerial. Start by just simply jumping and pull the left analog stick backwards so your nose is pointing upwards. Just do this multiple times until you get a feel for the movement. When you're ready, just incorporate boost. Get a feel for what that's like. Then finally, time your boost and your double jump at the peak of your first jump, and away you go. This simple repetition removes inaccuracies from your muscle memory, and in a dire situation in a game, you'll revert back to these mechanics and be able to make the play. If you're not sure if you're getting enough height on your jumps, use the net as a reference. Your spoiler should be meeting the line in the middle of the net. Going too low on these jumps will be obvious. You want to time your jump at the peak of this height to maximize how fast you can get in the air. Look at how smooth it is when we put it all together. Even if you're a brand new player to the game, you can work on something like this for 5 minutes every day, and I promise you, you will get height faster than the people you're up against. Here's the great thing about fundamental car control. It basically carries you through every mechanic in the game. Let's say you want to work on aerials from the wall. To start, simply drive into the ball while it's on the wall and practice jumping off the wall and making a light touch. Try focusing on hitting the ball with the front of your hitbox or your headlights. If you can't do this yet, just drive the ball up the wall and jump after it. The point is, start small. Build these little movements. Doing this time and time again will remove inaccuracies from your muscle memory and make you much smoother in the game. If you're a brand new player to Rocket League, I suggest jumping into Freeplay and don't even use the ball. Drive around the field and get a feel for how your car moves. Find the boost pads. There is a previous video on that if you have not seen it to see some maps and lines of the boost pads. How does your car move without boost? How does it power slide? How does your car move when it's supersonic? How does it move with boost? How does it move with ball cam? How does it move without ball cam? Maybe you can jump around, maybe you can get used to aerials, but just stick with the basics for now. You need to get a feel for the field and get an understanding of how your car moves around. Again, fundamental car control. And any player that's ranked Platinum, Diamond, Champ, even Grand Champ, keep the ball close to you. Don't just bang it around. Ball control, drive around the ball, drive with the ball close to you, carry the ball. Freeplay has a lot of great ways to gain control of the ball in any way that you want. So whether you want to set it on top of your car, in front of your car, shoot it at your car. I think the main purpose though and the main goal of Freeplay is keep control of the ball and keep control of your car. You want to see how the ball interacts with your vehicle. You want to be able to drive around and maintain possession of the ball. Those are the things that are important for you now. Sitting around and grinding a skill in Freeplay for an extended period of time just builds useless muscle memory. Because what's ideal in Freeplay for that situation is not always ideal in a game. Make pauses, focus on simple repetition. And don't forget, at every rank, you have to relearn every mechanic you know better. More speed, more power, more height, less weird adjustments, less predictability. Just because you learned it now doesn't mean you know it at the next rank. You gotta keep progressing. One final shout out to make here is from apparently Jack, who is one of the best players in the entire world. While most of the inspiration from this video came from a Grand Champion friend of mine, most of that person's inspiration came from his videos. You can see some similar ideas when it comes to how he practices his mechanics. If it's good enough for one of the best players in the world, it's definitely good enough for you. His channel's in the description below. I recommend you check it out. One final recommendation I'll make for you, especially if you're a new player and trying to work on something, is take it into a custom match against the bots. While this sounds kind of stupid, you might be surprised that you enjoy this much better than your typical Freeplay practices. You have to focus more on boost management, where the opponents are on the field, and just generally play a bit while you're practicing. Give it a try. Special shout out to Grand Champs. Not only are they amazing at the game and make us all look like fools, but they're pretty cool people too. Hope this video helps us all get there someday.